Hey guys, this Sunday we're going to do the old hymn, Oh, I Want to See Him. A few years back I did an arrangement of it, and I want to walk you through that. So you've got the chord chart and also the video to practice with. And there's a couple of things I want to mention before we get to it, before we go through the whole thing, so that you can really nail this. So one is that at the end of line 1 and line 2 of each verse, we're going to do verse 1, 2, and verse 4. At the end of line 1 and the end of line 2, there's distinct things that happen. As I journey through the land, singing as I go. Did you hear that little syncopated thing? Line 2, pointing souls to Calvary, to the crimson flow. That accented feel. So it does that on each verse 1, verse 2, verse 3. Each one of them does that. And here's what is happening there. So if you're on guitar, you're playing a D chord to a C chord. If you're on the bass guitar, you're playing opposite of that. You're playing a C, D. The effect is it gives a D chord with a C in the bass, followed by a C chord with a D in the bass, and it's a real nice, I can't do it on the instrument here, but it's a real nice feel when all the instruments are playing it together. So line 1, as I journey through the land, singing as I go. That's the feel of it. Let's add the second line in. It's got 3 syncopated D-suspended chords that are accented at the end of line 2. So line 1 and line 2. Here it is all together. As I journey through the land, singing as I go, pointing souls to Calvary, to the crimson flow. You hear that accented part. So that happens on each of the verses. And then also on the chorus, while you don't do, but you do after line 2, if that makes sense. So just a heads up that that's coming. A couple of other things that I want to mention real quick. At the end of each verse, it has the refrain where it goes. The chords, I'm looking at line 4 of each verse and the chorus. But my Lord leads me on, through him I must win. E minor over a C sharp, G over a D, A7 over a C sharp, A minor 7, D suspended G. This chord right here, the second chord of that phrase, kind of almost has a diminished feel, but it's technically an E minor with a C sharp in the bass. So, but my Lord leads me on, through him I must win. It's followed by a C over a D. That's the sound we want. You can kind of hear a C chord with a D in the bass mixed together, kind of a back chord. The other thing is on the man, I hope I'm not holding the guitar down here. Hopefully you're able to look at the fingering some. I'll try to be conscientious of that when we run through the song here in just a minute. But the other thing is the intro. It rocks back and forth. So just that feel, and the drum is just a kick on one with a hard snare on boom, bop, bop, boom, bop, bop, hard snare on 2 and 4. Yeah, just a feel-good song. I think that's it. The ending. The ending repeats the refrain 3 times. Again. One last time. But my Lord, I must C chord when ever to rejoice, I should have said. I'm mixing the words all up, but anyway, you know what I mean. Okay, let's give it a try here from the top. Here we go. As I journey through the land, singing as I go, pointing souls to Calvary, to the crimson flow. Many arrows pierce my soul from without within, but my Lord leads me on. Through him I must win. Oh, I want to see him, look upon his face, there to sing forever of his saving grace. On the streets of glory, let me lift my voice, because all past, home at last, ever to rejoice. When in service for my Lord, dark may be the night, but I'll cling more close to him, he will give me light. Satan's snares may vex my soul, turn my thoughts aside, but my Lord leads whatever tide. Oh, I want to see him, look up on his face, there to sing forever of his saving grace. On the streets of glory, let me lift my voice, because all past, home at last, ever to rejoice. Verse 4, Lord directs my path, he does safely keep, and he leads me gently on through this world below. He's a real friend to me, oh, I love him so. Oh, I want to see him, look up on his face, there to sing forever of his saving grace. On the streets of glory, let me lift my voice, because all past, home at last, ever to rejoice. Oh, I want to see him, look up on his face, there to sing forever of his saving grace. On the streets of glory, let me lift my voice, because all past, home at last, ever to rejoice. Oh, 'cause all past, home at last, ever to rejoice. Well, cares all past, home at last, ever to rejoice. Okay, another thing I remembered was actually the last chord of the song, it's supposed to be a C9 chord. And there's a C9 that happens on the first line and the third line of each verse. Forgot to talk about that. Technically, it's a C9, add the seventh. In music theory, you always, like if it has a 9, you're allowed to add the undertones. So it's a C9, add 7. But the way I do it normally, let me scoot close. If you're looking on guitar, C chord, we usually try to not sound the lower string, but start with this, the second string, and that is the C note. But what I'm doing, instead of just playing it this way, I'm putting index and the middle finger on these notes, and then with my forefinger, I'm barring the top 3. Learned this one from my father-in-law. I should call it the Jerry Roberts chord. It's a real nice chord. I think he got it from Elvis. I think he told me that one time, or no, I better not say it. Some guitar teacher showed it to him, but I think Elvis used it or something. So instead of this, you're getting this kind of a sound. A real nice dissonant 9 in there. Oh. Okay, and so we're going to use that on lines 1 and 3 of each verse, but also at the very end, last pass. Cares all past, home at last, ever to, right here, rejoice. Okay, hope that helps.